Are you going camping or traveling? Are you going to need a CPAP battery? Well, in this video, we're going to go over some of the CPAP batteries so that you can have a better understanding of the battery and how to choose one. Would you like to be able to win a VirtuClean 1.0? Stick around till the end of this video and we're going to tell you what to do to be able to enter to qualify. There's 5 things to consider when you're trying to pick a CPAP battery that's right for you. Now, the first thing to consider when you're trying to purchase a CPAP battery is what kind of machine do you have. Now, the machine is what CPAP you have. Do you have a small travel unit? Do you have a regular CPAP that sits on your nightstand? Depending on the CPAP model you have, each CPAP pulls a different amount of current. Now, all these CPAP batteries, they do recommend to use the battery without the humidifier attached, without the humidifier on. In the case of like the ResMed AirSense 10, you can just turn off the humidifier. Now, a quick side note, when you're choosing the battery and you're thinking about battery runtimes can vary greatly depending on a multitude of factors. So this is one thing that we don't want to go over exact time that a battery lasts, because it all depends on the weather conditions, it depends on how charged the battery is, and it depends on your CPAP pressure. If you have a higher pressure, the batteries will tend to last less. If you're on the lower side of the pressures, the battery will last longer. So actual run times, if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to see them in this video. The second tip when you're looking for a CPAP battery is, does your machine have a humidifier? Now, if you're running on like an Air Mini, which has its proprietary humidification system, or you're using any other machine with an HME, that's different than actually having a humidifier attached to your machine and the heater turned on. Having the heater turned on will drain out your battery very fast, and in most cases, the batteries won't even support the heater. So this is something to consider if you know that you need humidification. The third thing to consider when you're trying to choose a CPAP battery is how much you sleep. Now, it depends. Some people can sleep 6 hours and that's enough for them. Some people sleep 9-10 hours. That's something to consider when you're trying to choose a battery, because if you're on the higher side of that, you want to make sure you get a battery with enough capacity to sleep an entire night with. The fourth thing to consider when you're trying to buy a CPAP battery is actually the weather. Now, when you say the weather, Ozzy, what are you talking about? What are you talking about the weather? Why does the weather affect battery life? It actually does affect battery life. If you're in a very hot climate, the battery discharge rate of all these batteries goes up higher. So that means that battery, if it on a regular cool dry surface, that battery would last, let's say, on approximate of 10 hours. Maybe in the hot sun, that battery is going to last maybe 6 hours. So you need to take that into consideration if you know you're going to be sleeping outside, or you're going to be sleeping in a hot environment where you don't have air conditioning. The fifth and last thing to consider when you're trying to choose your CPAP battery is actually what CPAP pressure you are set on. If you're set on lower end of pressures, your battery life is going to last without a problem. If you're set on the higher end, that CPAP battery is going to drain a lot faster. So this is something that you have to take into consideration, especially if you are on those higher end pressures of 16, 17, 18, 19. Those are pressures that are on the higher end, so your battery is going to last less. Now that we've gone over some of the tips on how to choose your CPAP battery and the things to consider, we're going to show you our top pick of CPAP batteries. First up is the EXP48 Pro. Now, this battery, I can tell you right off the bat, holding it in my hands, it feels nice and rugged. It feels like if I drop it on the floor, nothing's going to happen to it. It's well protected and it's well made, nice and heavy. Now, if you see on the front, it has a DC input, like your 12 volt in the car. It has a Type C in to be able to charge it. And it has the 2 USB ports out, so you can charge your cell phone as well. The EXP Pro comes in at 1.6 inches, 6 inches, and 8.25 inches. Those are the dimensions for this machine. And as far as the weight, it's 3.5 pounds. So it's a little bit on the heavier side. This battery, it's highly rated. We've had great feedback from it, and it'll be a great addition for anyone that wants to go on those outdoor camping trips. Next up, we have the portable outlet. The portable outlet, it has your regular AC adapter like you're used to in your home, which is a great thing because that means you don't need any adapters to try to plug in your machine. It has a little display that tells you the current battery life, and it has a USB port so you could charge your cell phone. Now this battery, it comes in at 5 inches wide, 7 inches long, and 1.5 inches tall. And the weight is 2 pounds. To continue, we go with the Medistrom line of batteries. Now the Medistrom line of batteries, you have 2 batteries. You have the Medistrom Pilot 12 and you have the Pilot 24. These batteries are very dependent on what machine you have. Each battery is only compatible with certain machines. You can click the link in the description. We're gonna have all the compatibility features of the machine. Now the Medistrom, it has an inlet for your charge, a DC output, and a USB port so you can charge your phone. And it's coming in on the lightest side. This is the lightest CPAP battery that you're gonna be able to find, and it's coming in at 1.3 pounds. It's 6.7 inches, 3.5 inches, and 0.8 inches. To charge the Medistrom, you have to use your current CPAP's battery charger. So this actual battery will not bring a charger in the box. Lastly, we have the Freedom V2. The Freedom V2 is a great CPAP battery. It comes in at a weight of 1.7 pounds. The dimensions are 7.5 inches by 4.8 inches by 0.8 inches. Now this battery is a great battery. I don't have one here with me to be able to show you, but it is a top seller. Now the special thing about the Freedom V2 is that it allows you to bridge 2 batteries together to extend that battery life even longer. So for those of you that are looking for a CPAP battery that's gonna last for a very long time, that might be the option to look into. Now these CPAP batteries are not just for traveling and camping. You can use these CPAP batteries if you live in an area of the country where the power goes out a lot. You might say, hey, I live in the United States and the power doesn't go out at all. Well, if you live in areas like we do here in Florida, that we get a lot of hurricanes, when we get a hurricane, sometimes the power can go out 1, 2, 3 days, even a week. So this might be something you want to take a look at and have on your bedside just in case. Here we have the batteries lined up for you so that you can tell a side-by-side comparison of the size. And if you see, that's on an iPhone 11 Pro Max next to that Medistrom battery. Earlier in this video, we told you that there's a chance for you to win a VirtuClean 1.0. To win this VirtuClean 1.0, it's very simple. Click on the link down below. It's going to give you instructions on what to do. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel and give us your email address, and you're going to be entered to win that VirtuClean 1.0. We hope this video has helped you choose the right CPAP battery for you. If you have any questions, comment down below and we'll get back to you. As always, my name's Ozzy. I'm the respiratory therapist with SleepPlay. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so like that you never miss any of our videos. Have a happy snooze.